Hey everyone, I'm Aaron from CoinJar. I'm the compliance manager for CoinJar Australia. I know you were probably expecting someone different, so I'm here to fill in because they cannot make it. I do agree that Australia is behind in financial innovation, so that's something we can definitely agree on. But instead today we're going to talk about financial scams in the cryptocurrency space, which is something I'm very passionate about, preventing, protecting consumers, all of that. Definitely encourage you, if you have any questions, look, keep them in mind. Come and see me at the CoinJar booth, ask me any questions. Happy to talk about this, probably too long. So look, let's just get right into it. So just a reminder, we're here to protect consumers, always, always. If I can't sleep at night knowing I've made the right decision to maybe block an account, stop a transfer, have I made the right decision? And we have to prevent financial scams, of course. It's really important to know that scams have a real impact on real people. Even meeting some of our customers today, they're not scam victims, thankfully, but it's really nice to put a face to the name. And a lot of the stuff we do these days is digital, it's online, it's via email, probably not in person these days. It's really good to remember that there are real people who fall victim to scams all the time. So what makes crypto so attractive to scammers? Well, where do I start? Lack of education makes manipulation very easy, extremely easy. Everyone has a different level of education, which we'll go into. I've got a great slide that I've been keeping for about 5 years, and I'm very happy I can finally use it. Volatility gets people excited. If you're in crypto, which most of us are, you note that the crypto market had a bit of an upswing. Probably not a bull run yet, but I'm sure it'll get there. Transactions are really difficult to trace. We're getting better with tracing them, but it's not as easy as transfers between two banks, one bank to another, BSB to another BSB. Crypto makes it very hard to trace these kinds of transactions, and it makes it difficult for law enforcement to locate the funds, customers get funds back. They're irreversible. All transactions on the blockchain are irreversible. They cannot be undone. That's really crazy to remember, but it's impossible to reverse a transaction. It's not technically possible to do so. And the last thing, I'm starting to coin the last mile effect, which is usually used in deliveries. The last mile effect, it's from that last port of transportation to your house. So in Australia, the crypto industry is like the fringe of the financial ecosystem, right? Sometimes people look at us as cowboys, sometimes people look at us as, we're just over here banging rocks together. Not necessarily true. We're very regulated, trying our best to do what we can to protect customers. But that last mile effect, once it leaves a crypto exchange, once a transfer leaves a crypto exchange, it's gone. That's it. You can't do a chargeback, you can't reverse it. You can complain as much as you want, but there's nothing you can do. That keeps me up at night, genuinely. It's very scary. So this is a slide. I don't know if you can really see. One time, long ago, I asked a customer for a screenshot of the error they were seeing. They couldn't give a screenshot. Some of us can do it, some of us can't. There's different levels of education, but it's really important to remember some people can't take a screenshot. Seems kind of insignificant, seems like it doesn't really make a difference to scams, but it does. If someone has this level of tech exposure, which is fine, we're all at different stages of our technology journey, what will stop them falling victim to scam? If they have to scan their phone and send a PDF of this error message, what's the level of education in the financial world? Makes you a bit concerned. So I can talk about some case examples that we've seen at CoinJar. This is Melanie, so none of these people are real. So thank you, thispersondoesnotexist.com, for making these fake people for me. This is Melanie, she's 60 years old, and she fell victim to an investment scam. We managed to catch it before she sent too much money, and you can see on the left-hand side, so with an exchange, you have to do something called enhanced customer due diligence, and that means we ask extra questions, we say, who's the money going to? Do you know the recipient? What's the money for? What's the point of your account? So on and so forth. So you can see on the left-hand side, she actually says, look, I'm actually just sending money to my wallet, my MetaMask, my Exodus, all genuine wallets. We trust Exodus, we trust MetaMask, Trust Wallet even, who's here today. And then 3 days later, she says, actually, the account was set up by this online organization and someone called Martin is on my computer. Straight away, who's this company? Who's Martin? How did you meet Martin? Why does he have remote access to your computer? This is really bizarre. And you can see in the top right, we've done KYC, we've given a scam warning, which we can touch on later. We've given her the knowledge base article on scams. We've gone through everything we possibly can, scam warnings on the transactions, and we actually rejected the transactions and ended the relationship. We could not convince this customer up until she wrote to us 3 days later that it was a scam. This is Marcus, he's 50 years old. And don't let the ages of these two customers fool you. The age is no longer a strong indicator of someone being involved in a scam. It can affect anyone. Even myself, a couple years ago, I stupidly clicked on a smart contract on my MetaMask wallet and almost fell victim to scam. And I'm 33 this year. So if I was, 28 a couple of years ago, well, Age is not an indicator anymore. So this is Marcus. You can see in the top right, we've done the same thing. We've gone through the same processes. We've done KYC. We've done enhanced customer due diligence. We've asked him where these funds are going. And even after giving a warning that ASIC had on their own page about this company, the customer still said, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And the most concerning thing I've actually bolded, I will now be using a different platform to buy and receive crypto. It makes it really difficult to protect a customer when you are telling them that this is a big problem. You're telling them that even the regulator says this company is a problem, and they don't want to listen. That old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, is very true. This is Frances, and again, age is not an indicator. She's 25 years old. Again, top right, you can see everything that we've done. In this case, we actually gave a warning from the New Zealand government, but the same kind of thing, and I've bolded those points. I've opened an account somewhere else. What right do you have to control people's money? Well, it's not trying to control your money, it's trying to actually protect you. A lot of people fall into that, I'm looking for financial freedom, that's why this scam is so useful to me. But at that point, it's not a scam, right? It's a genuine opportunity. They're part of a business, they're part of a culture, they're part of a community, they're gonna make a profit, everything's gonna be great. It's very difficult to convince people otherwise. Even these two examples, even giving them those warnings from the governments. And look, the governments may not always get it right, but these two warnings were genuine, and it didn't make any difference, which is, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. Frances actually said to me, because I dealt with Frances, she actually said, well, look, we're well aware of this government warning, and we're going to deal with it. It's still up there. This was about a year ago, and the warning is still valid, and it's still there. I don't think they have dealt with it. So this is a really great example of customers being so brainwashed and being ingrained in these scams that they just don't listen to reason. It's really hard to reason with someone who's already got their belief structure set, they're already integrated with the scammers, they're already talking to strangers. It's really hard to break that kind of contact. This is definitely more of a crypto scam. This is Darnell, he's 47. Again, the age doesn't necessarily mean anything anymore. In this case, there's a lot of text on this screen, so we can just skip past it. Darnell actually invested in a fake token. Everything seemed fine. He had real Ethereum. He moved it to a real exchange. And in return, he was going to get Ethereum back. The Ethereum they gave him, this is not Ethereum. This is a fake token. It's set up just like Ethereum. But you'll note that the arrows are pointing to token Ethereum. It's called Ethereum. So just the average punter goes, oh, it's Ethereum. Great, I'm set. But look at the max total supply, 1 million Ethereum. We know that's not true. That's completely fake. You can even see 3,158 transactions found since this token was created. Ethereum has tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. Straight away, you can see this is a fake token. So it's not just the traditional investment scams that customers fall for these days, but it's also this extra layer which adds this mind-blowing complexity to it. They can also fall victim to a fake token that's not even the real thing, but it looks real to them. And they don't have the, I guess, education in this industry where it's brand new, we're still learning, everyone's coming together to learn these things. They don't have the education to understand that this is fake. And look, I'm looking at this right now. This is on Etherscan. It looks legitimate, except for the fact that the max total supply, the number of transactions, even 283 days ago. When this was taken, that was, a year ago almost, it's perpetuated this scam for a year. How many people are involved in this? 3,158 transactions. I need new glasses. How many customers of other exchanges, of global exchanges, people who have sent money from their cold wallets to this service, how many people lost money? Millions. I can't even count how much money might have been lost from that one fake token. And there's thousands of them. Thousands of fake Ethereum tokens. Thousands. There's other things like fake CoinJar websites, which we deal with every single day. This is a fake CoinJar website. You can actually see if you've used CoinJar. It looks nothing like it. I've used CoinJar. I work there, so I can tell you this is not our website at all. We would never use these colors. We'd never lock up USDT. It's not really our style. But it really extends into even this. This is logo theft, trademark theft, right? Not so concerned about that. Maybe our legal team might be. Not really my area. But look at this, coin gold. Hello, beautiful dream. We will not fail until we meet the beautiful future with our heart. It's really invoking this psychological, I can get money from this. I can be financially free from this. This is a genuine service. They're invoking these emotional responses from me. And every single day, we work really hard to take those sites down. Sometimes the registrar is really willing to work with us, and they take them down within 24 hours. We're now finding that a lot of these fake CoinJar websites, they go to registrars in less than reputable regions, and the registrars don't care at all. We can tell them, look, here's our trademark, here's our copyright. I'm actually from the real CoinJar, and it doesn't matter. This, I actually was helping our marketing manager while he was on leave. He said, please sign into Facebook and Twitter and just respond to comments, help customers. And I said, yep, no worries, happy to do that. While I was there, I decided to look at all the comments that we receive every single day. So for example, we might put up an announcement, we might put up a product or feature or a new service that we're offering. We do a newsletter every 2 weeks, every fortnight. Every time we put a social post up, there is about 10 or 15 scam comments. Every single time, without fail. It's so bad and rampant that to the point where we have a post from November last year, and today, literally today, I'm not making this up, there were 10 comments on that post from November last year. Contact me on Telegram. I can get all your money back. Contact this person on WhatsApp. Hit this person up on Telegram. Oh, call this US number and you'll get your money back. If you've ever lost money in crypto, contact these people. It's really bad. So I guess the goal in this is, who's the real person? It's really hard to tell. There's only one genuine person in all of this, and it's that customer. That is a real customer. The rest are fraudulent people trying to trick our customers into falling victim to these scams. And it's really, really hard to control. These are two examples of some scams on Messenger, which is on the left, and WhatsApp, which is on the right, which, depending on where you sit on the spectrum, it's basically the same thing. And you can see straight away, that first message, yes, but if you can go higher, why not? If you can invest more money in this scam, why not? And people go, oh, you know what? I do have another $1,000. I do have $10,000. I'll put that money in. And you can see on the WhatsApp message, the last message, very psychological prompt. You need to ask me before you do anything. And we see that in our customers who fall victim to scams all the time. Oh, my account manager said I couldn't do this. My account manager said don't talk to them. They don't know what they're talking about. That system of control, alongside everything else, the Facebook comments, the scams we just went through, is really dangerous. People, it's not just an education component, but people need to understand these psychological triggers that are being used to trick them into falling victim to these scams. This is a fake recovery scam. I don't know if you can actually read it or not, but it actually was sent to support@coinjar.com, which is our official email. At the bottom, it says Department of Blockchain in Spain. There is not a Department of Blockchain in Spain, just FYI. But you can see it's trying to move from an email to please respond to us at blockchain.com, or at blockchain, I should say, and you can also contact us on WhatsApp. Moving away from an email into a private messaging system, someone might be less likely to discover it, to share it with family members, to even talk about it. And it becomes really dangerous once you get that one-on-one time with someone who's trying to trick you. And the reality is, this is what we're fighting against every single day. Some of you might use CoinJar and you go, yep, great, I'll open the app, I'll buy some Bitcoin, great. And I'm sitting here on the other side saying, how do we protect customers? How do we make sure people don't fall victim to scam? How do we stop scammers before it gets too bad? How do we protect people in every stage of the customer journey? And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So what are the common themes of the scams we've seen? If you've been anywhere near a scam, if you've heard about one, if you've been exposed to one, you'll know all about it. You'll hear about these exact same signs. It's always strangers with money. Customers have contact with complete strangers, and the strangers offer them this financial freedom. And they say, great, I'm in a bad place, I need some more money, I'm looking to invest. Whatever the situation is that they're in, they want an investment, they want a return on their investment. Some of these times they say, look, the bank can give you 5%, but we can give you 100% every day for the rest of your life. And to some of us, we go, no, that doesn't really check. That doesn't really make sense. And it doesn't. But that makes sense to us. But it might not make sense to your mum, your dad, your grandma, your aunt, your son. Everyone has a different level of understanding. And when you encourage people to invest in their financial future, meet the beautiful future with our beautiful hearts, right? People get really encouraged by that. They think it's legitimate. They don't bother checking. Does it have an AFSL, an ABN? Are they registered with AusTrack? None of that matters. It goes all out the window because there's that possibility that you can gain something without doing really anything, especially when you have an account manager who's going to help you do it all. There's always anxiety with urgency. We've got to make this trade right now. It has to happen today. You need to put $100 more or you're going to lose everything. Always. That pressure to get people in and out as quickly as possible. People take that genuinely and they say, oh, I'm going to lose this time-limited offer. There's no time-limited offer. There's not even money in this fake account you've created. It looks like there is, but there's not. It's not real at all. Customers almost always say to us, I'm going to go complain to ASIC, I'm going to go complain to the ACCC, if we don't let them send money to a known scam. And it becomes a very difficult tension point. You're dealing with the complaint at the regulator who, look, they're really good. They understand that if a customer's sent into a scam, we obviously want to protect them. We obviously want to stop them. So the complaint is not the issue. It's the lack of understanding of a regulated entity that's there to help you, to do everything we can to protect you, and it falls on deaf ears. Leading the horse to water, right? You can't make it drink. There's always bad actors versus good actors. And one thing we've seen is that the customers will always trust the scammer, always. Oh, but my account manager, Frederick, he's really great and he knows everything and he's taught me everything about crypto. I've paid him for a credit card course. I've done this, I've done that. Once that level of trust is built, it's really hard to break it down. It's really hard to break it down. Almost impossible. To the point where, I've had customers who might come back 9, 10, 12 months later and say, look, I was really angry with you when you blocked my account. I'm really sorry. I've now learned that it is a scam, and I'm thankful that you've done it. And there's always the inverse as well, where people get really upset and they get very frustrated, and you can't really control how someone's going to react. This one's very topical, probably not to the people in this room, but when I presented this last week to the banks, there was a couple of raised eyebrows. We've definitely found where some cases a customer might send money to us and the bank doesn't ask any questions. When you are talking about enhanced customer due diligence, that's something under the legislation, the AML-CTF Act, and the associated rules instrument, right? When you see something high risk, you're supposed to ask more questions. We have seen many cases where a bank will let a customer send money and not ask a single question. And then in 6 months, we might get a charge back, and they say, oh, look, it's a financial scam. And we say, well, what did you ask? And they go, oh, well, nothing. I'm not even sure what to make of that. I know for a fact that the big four, as I like to call them, and not to offend anyone who likes their own exchange, the big four exchanges in the country, I know the standards they have, the standards they adhere to, the questions they ask, the processes they follow, because we all talk. It's not a competitive thing to talk about how to protect customers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about making revenue, making profits, anything like that when you talk about protecting customers, because that's the key point, right? As I said, very topical. The banks were not happy that I had that slide included, so let's just skip right past that. So education and prevention, that's a winning combination. You can educate someone as much as you like, as we've seen. People don't care. If you're dangling the carrot of a financial future, a solid financial future, returns, gains, volatility, whatever it may be, it's really hard to disengage them from that. And it could be that people have that level of trust with an account manager, again, account manager. It could be that they are so believing that they're going to make some money in whatever scheme they're investing in that they don't want to lose that opportunity. And it depends on where they are in life, what they're going through, their financial status. There's so many factors that fall into it, which makes it really hard to disrupt scams. So how do we do it? We've talked a lot about this in the last couple of weeks with some of our DCE partners and regulators, and just sort of sharing exactly how it works behind the scenes. So this is a bit of a higgledy-piggledy kind of workflow. It's not perfect, so forgive me, but I think it explains it pretty decently. On the top, you've actually got green, sign up, KYC, which is know your customer, ID verification, fiat deposit, crypto withdrawal, and account limit increase. And the blue sections are where we interact with customers and say, hey, look, there's a risk of a scam. You could fall victim to scam. It can happen to anyone. It's a real problem. And this has grown over the years since 2017, before we were required to be regulated. And we're not necessarily required to do this by law, but it makes a lot of sense to try and protect people as much as you can. And it might seem like a lot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 warnings in a customer journey, but it's not enough. It's actually not enough, which is crazy. How many more warnings do we have to put in place? How many phone calls, how many emails, how many preventions, how many blocks of accounts do we have to do before someone understands? It's really difficult. This seems to work very well, and we can go through why. So this is the scam warning email. It might be a bit hard to see on the screen, but it just sort of goes through, look, how do you identify scams? How do you keep your account secure? Do you want some more information? And we link to ASIC, MoneySmart, ScamWatch, all that kind of stuff. The open rate of that email is 68.5%. So we send a lot of lifecycle emails, which are just emails you send in the customer journey. It might be like, hey, welcome to CoinJar, or hey, give us some feedback. This is one of those emails. Beforehand, the subject was, I don't know, welcome to CoinJar, your account information. I can't remember exactly what it was. But we changed the subject to a message from our security team. And the open rate of that email shot up about 40 or 50% as soon as we said that. And it's a bit cheeky, but it actually got people to read it and comprehend it and understand. And if that's one touch point extra than what we were doing before, it could save 1 person, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people from falling victim to scam. The difficult part about having this kind of email is there's no real way to track, did this save someone's money? It's very difficult to find out how to track that metric with this kind of email, but I'm really glad that we have it. We have this onboarding questionnaire, which certain users will hit when they meet certain criteria, and it just talks about what will you be using your account for, how much money will you be moving through the account. The most important part of this form is actually over here at the bottom. Who will you be sending funds to or receiving funds from? That has caught out so many customers. And it's on purpose. It's a tricky thing, but it's on purpose. Before a customer can send, if they meet this criteria to hit this form, they have to tell us who they're sending to. And sometimes we'll say, oh, I'm sending to joeblogsfx.com. And as soon as I see the word FX, the letters FX, I feel very triggered because it's stressful to think about where is this money going? Why are you doing foreign exchange? What's actually going on? Do you understand what's happening here? And that form, I think we added it maybe 6 weeks ago, and we've caught 5 or 6 customers already, which is great. 5 or 6 more than we would have had. This is the next step of the form. So it actually says, have you contacted anyone about an investment opportunity? If you click yes, it will show you this second yellow warning underneath, which is pretty standard. We just want to know who are you sending to, where's it going, all in the name of keeping you safe. And on the second side, again, a trick question. If you choose no, has anyone helped me set up this account? We still show the warning anyway, because people are being coached to actually answer these questions correctly. And it's really difficult. Once we deploy a form, the scammers get onto the form and they understand the questions and they coach people through the whole process. So we have to add extra systems to prevent against that. Then we've got the scam warning in our notification email. So this is when you make a pay ID deposit, you just get a little warning and it says, hey, look, just be careful. There are scams. It is a real thing. We've got outgoing warnings on every single payment. It's hard-coded. You cannot miss it. It can't be deleted. It can't be hidden. It's always there. We've had people say, I didn't see the warning. I didn't get the warning. You didn't tell me it was irreversible. It's right there. There's a checkbox. There's a warning. It's absolutely there. For some customers, depending on the risks they have on their account, they get this thing called convenience limits. I can't go into the specifics of how it works, but same kind of thing, right? There's a scam warning there. It tells you, look, crypto's irreversible. Where's the payment going? This is actually me. It says gift, a stranger online, so don't stress that it's a real customer. That's just me making a screenshot. And again, that same warning, crypto is irreversible. Do you understand that we cannot get this back? The bank cannot do a chargeback. We can't do anything to help you once it's gone, which is why we have so many warnings before you send your crypto. So much so that we actually had to update this to make it very succinct. Now we actually ask these questions. Has someone invited you to join an investment opportunity or offered you a job? Has someone remotely accessed your computer? Did someone advise you to make an urgent payment or pay something, buy something with crypto? Scams can happen to anyone. They're a real problem. They can happen to you as well. Make sure you think twice about this transfer. And again, it's really hard to track the metrics. I love metrics. It's very hard to track the metrics on, did this save someone? Did this stop someone? Did it prevent someone falling victim to scam? We may never be able to track that. I don't know how to track that. I'm very open to talking about it, and if anyone's got any suggestions, please let me know. But having these in place, there was a time when we didn't have this in place. Having these in place helps us ask more questions during the customer journey, find out exactly what they're doing. We don't have to interrupt them with a phone call. When they're on the phone to us, they lie to us all the time, every time, without fail. I don't think I've had one truthful conversation with a customer on the phone versus the form they send to us, which is automated. For some reason, people think that the form isn't looked at. Not sure why. Very odd behavior. When we do an account limit increase, you'll see there's a reminder about crypto scams as well. And then we've got a knowledge base article on crypto scams, which again is very similar to that first email that we send to customers once they do KYC. So some takeaways. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, communications platforms like Telegram, WhatsApp, even SMS and phone calls, significant delivery channel for scams, without any question in my mind. I wish I could say otherwise, but the fact is, looking at that Facebook slide, there are so many scams coming on Facebook. And we spoke to Facebook recently about this, and they said, we can't really do anything about it. We need the link to the profile, which is very odd for a multi-billion-dollar company to say, we can't do anything about this. We can't write any code. We can't make a solution. Our hands are tied. Very odd thing to say. Customers always disregard stranger danger. And I said this to someone earlier. If you're at the bank and you have $10,000 and you've given it to the teller and you say, I'd like to deposit this into my account. If someone walked up to you and said, hey, I'd like some money, you'd be weirded out. You'd say, who is this? Stranger danger, go away from me. I've got my money, I want to protect it. For some reason, online, doesn't matter. That stranger danger does not exist when someone talks to you online. The assumption is, we're all friends. Everyone's going to be friendly. Everyone's here to help me. And that's the mentality that these scammers perpetuate. I'm your account manager. Hey, sorry, wrong number. I'm just here to help you. Let's be friends. Let's chat. Let's build this good, strong relationship and build that trust that's really hard to break. And education alone does not work. I don't think it will ever work. There have been talks, in the industry. Some people said, let's release a flyer, an A4 flyer, and we'll give it to banks and we'll give it to DCEs, and it'll be all about scams. And I said, that's ridiculous. What's a flyer going to do? You need to prevent people. You need to pause the transactions and ask questions and say, do you know what you're doing? We're not trying to be malicious, but do you understand that this is irreversible? It's not like a bank where you can do a chargeback and it'll come back. So education and prevention, winning combination, without any question. And that's really all I have. So thank you for coming. I know you were expecting someone else, but hopefully I filled the shoes. So yeah, any questions, let me know. I'm at the CoinJar booth. Just come and chat to me. Any questions here, happy to take them as well.